We are back once again. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Crypto Dojo Show, where we discuss everything you should know about the world of crypto. And today's topic of conversation is surrounding this white paper. It's from the World Economic Forum, Cryptocurrencies, a Guide to Getting Started. Global Future Council on Cryptocurrencies. So this is a paper from 2021, and there were just some points in here that I highlighted that I found interesting. So we'll start with the executive summary. As cryptocurrencies transform how we trade, transact, and interact online, it has become more important than ever for technology leaders to have experience with these innovations. Since the creation of Bitcoin in 2008, cryptocurrencies have been the subject of uncertainty, skepticism, hype, and disillusionment. While still early as a technology category, cryptocurrencies are now maturing and have demonstrable utility. As of this writing, this is in 2021. Cryptocurrencies in aggregate are valued at over 2 trillion in market capitalization. Cryptocurrency based lending applications and decentralized trading venues currently command 65 billion in onboarded assets. Just in the first quarter of 2021, over 1 billion worth of digital collectibles and digital art traded hands, underpinned by cryptocurrency networks. This is not to mention the areas that are still in exploratory phases: community governance, file storage, and cross border payments, among others. So, those exploratory phases, they have progressed since the writing of this paper. And when we say exploratory phases, these are signals to let us know what are use cases. So, for a person who says, you know what, I don't see the purpose of cryptocurrencies, I don't see the use case. These are specific use cases, and I can tell you, cross-border payments, that would be Ripple, XRP, Stellar, XLM, XDC. These are all projects that are in that cross-border payment space. When we're talking about file storage, I can't think of that project off the top of my head right now, but community governance, file storage, and cross-border payments are all different use cases. And I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I'm just gonna try to hit these highlighted points. This guide serves as a manual. This is why this is important. This guide serves as a manual for corporate leaders, including but not limited to chief executive officers, innovation officers, chief information officers, product managers, and other technology professionals. So immediately there, the World Economic Forum is telling us that this white paper is directed to the highest levels of corporate, the C-suite executives are the people who this paper was written for. Corporate leaders, including but not limited to. And I really got to slow it down and break it down because I'm trying to express the importance of the time that we are in. So this guide is a manual for corporate leaders, including but not limited to chief executive officers, innovation officers, chief information officers. The chief executive officer is the CEO. product managers, and other technology professionals. That's who it's directed to. Now, you should come away with an understanding of how to transact and trade cryptocurrencies, view and participate in the underlying blockchain systems. So, a cryptocurrency, we see it right here. Cryptocurrency, there is a underlying blockchain system that is associated with cryptocurrencies. You're not gonna have, and I'm not gonna go too deep, but some of the things that I say may be repetitive, but you're not gonna have a blockchain without a cryptocurrency. They go hand in hand. So I'm gonna leave that there for the moment. So you should come away with an understanding of how to transact and trade cryptocurrencies, view and participate in the underlying blockchain systems, get started programming decentralized applications, engage in blockchain governance systems, reason about both privacy and scalability trade-offs among different cryptocurrencies, and research and consider relevant jurisdictional guidelines and regulations. Relevant jurisdictional guidelines and regulations. Relevant jurisdictional guidelines and regulations. So depending upon where you are in the world, there are government entities and agencies that police certain activities. So when participating in this space, you want to consider relevant jurisdictional guidelines and regulations. The regulations in the United States might not be the same. The relevant jurisdictional guidelines and regulations in the United States may not be the same relevant jurisdictional guidelines and regulations in Mexico or in Dubai or in China or in Russia. So you may have a entity that is or has permission to operate in one jurisdiction, but they don't have the permission to operate in another jurisdiction. And you have to be careful during this time because, like, let's say you get on a platform and you start buying and selling cryptocurrencies. Now, this platform is not regulated in the United States, but you're able to get on and you're able to conduct transactions. Well, if the law changes in the United States for whatever reason, or if they start trying to come after whatever exchange that you're using, then you might find yourself in some trouble. Not really like you in trouble with the law, but if you have value on that exchange, then you may be your assets may be froze, so to speak. Because you may not be able to. They may stop servicing you as a client, and they may let you get access to your assets. They may say, hey, you know what? The jurisdiction that you're in no longer will allow us to, serve you. So we're going to need you to take your value. We're going to need you to take your assets off the platform. They can do that. Or they might not do that at all. And then your assets will just be froze on that platform. So it is important to consider relevant jurisdictional guidelines and regulations. The best way to be equipped to speak to, engage with, and imply. This is very important. It's very important, this statement. The best way to be equipped to speak to, engage with, and apply cryptocurrency to your life and your workplace is not to read about it. Oh, no. It's not to read about it, but rather to start working with it directly. You got to start using it. it'll make most sense when you start using it. Because when you start using it, oh, I believe those neurons will get defined. You understand what I'm saying? And you'll then begin to see why these things are becoming increasingly visible to average America. Average America. They're becoming increasingly visible to those who didn't have eyes to see before. I don't want to be disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta get hands on with it. You gotta get hands on with it. Let me keep going. Buying cryptocurrency. This is why this white paper is so important. And all you gotta do is just Google. You can Google this title. Type in World Economic Forum, cryptocurrencies, a guide to getting started, and you too can download this free information. It's free information from the World Economic Forum. And the World Economic, and what we know is that the world is run by central planners. Nothing happens on accident in this world. The world is run by central planners. And if you don't think that the world is run by central planners, I recommend that you look into the World Economic Forum. See what it is. They meet every year in Davos, Switzerland. Every year. They meet and they discuss their central planning ideas about how they want to shape the world. I'm not making this up. It's right here. It's in paper. It's not. It's digital. But if you printed it, it will be in paper. And if you wanted to, and you had a color printer, you could print it in color paper. But the World Economic Forum is a central planning committee. And their central planning going forward includes digital assets and cryptocurrencies. So boom. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I'm not even gonna read these highlighted. I just want you to see what the main points are. So boom, buying cryptocurrency. This explains what you need to know about purchasing cryptocurrencies. It's very, very informative. Taxation. Custody cryptocurrency. To own cryptocurrency, you are required to have a wallet. A cryptocurrency wallet is how coins and tokens are held and custody. Now, keep in mind, this paper is from 2001. This was 3 years ago now. And when you're in the cryptocurrency space, one day is like 10 years. Everything happens so fast in this space. This is from 3 years ago. That 3 years ago, they were telling C-suite level executives, hey, y'all better start looking at this. This is how you do it. Go on and get your feet wet. Go on and get off in it. Don't play with it. We got it right here in black and white for you. This here what you do. I say this here what you do. Come on now. I'm trying to put a diamond necklace on you. I ain't playing with you. Yeah, I'm not playing with you. I'm trying to put some jewelry on you. I say I'm trying to put some jewelry on you. Yeah, this is some news you can truly use. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Get to work. Otherwise, you're going to have to get to work. I'm just saying. Making transactions To make a transaction, you'll need a few pieces of information. You'll need access to your cryptocurrency. This involves having the information needed to access your funds via the third party. The third party being whatever exchange where your funds or value is being kept. I'm just saying this is very, very informative. Oh, here's a quick. Now, when you listen to politicians, a lot of times you hear them say that, oh, it's used for money laundering and blase blase blase. This is from the World Economic Forum. Law enforcement can trace the movement of funds. Law enforcement can trace the movement of funds. It is not. It's not a good idea to use this technology for illicit purposes, because law enforcement can trace the movement of funds. Let's see. They have a section about anonymity, a section about privacy, running a node, the different types of consensus mechanisms, attacking the network. This is very informative. This paper can dispel a lot of the false notions that you may hear in traditional media. Energy consumption. Programmability. It talks about Ethereum. Governance. Throughput and scalability. Now this was crucial here to me. This is the thing about these white papers. These white papers can give you clues as to what projects are I don't want to say they are, how can I phrase this? White papers can give you an idea of legitimate players in the space. So in this white paper, we have Algorand, we have Cardano, we have CeeLo, XRP, Solana, and Stellar. So immediately, if you're new to the space and you're looking, you want to participate, but you want to participate in a safe way. The fact that these projects are, this is documented in a World Economic Forum paper. These would be good projects to look into, because they are in the documents of the group that conducts central planning for the world. Not just the United States of America. Everybody on the face of this good earth. So compliance and regulatory considerations. This is good information too. You know, it probably would take me way too long to read this whole thing, but you know, there's a lot of good information in here. Now, I will read the conclusion. Look, this manual represents only the first steps of getting started working with cryptocurrency. It's a manual. It's a manual. It's a manual. It's designed to help us understand how to use this technology. The processes, considerations, and resources imparted in this guide only skim the surface of the opportunities that exist in working with cryptocurrency. Again, I must say, I have to point out This is a paper from the World Economic Forum. Indeed, one of the key challenges of putting this guide together came down to the need to be fastidious about what to include. As you continue to explore the cryptocurrency ecosystem, you can engage more broadly. So basically, it's so much to this space that they had to say, okay, how can we condense everything going on into a white paper that's not overbearing, that's not super technical, that's not just so dry that we lose the reader? How can we just give them boom, 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 the main points, quick, concise? Let them get out there, let them run. How can we do that? As you continue to explore the cryptocurrency, and keep in mind what we said at the beginning. Now you got to be hands on. You got to be hands on. Excuse me, my phone ringing. Pardon me. Pardon me. You got to be hands on. So, as you continue to explore the cryptocurrency ecosystem, you can engage more broadly by experimenting with or using open blockchain protocols, not mentioned here. You can also engage in more depth, driving further into the possibilities around programmability, governance, and scalability. No matter what your reason for using this guide, it is critical to understand these technologies. It is critical to understand these technologies. It is critical to understand these technologies, their trade-offs and implications, and how they might be leveraged to transform industries, and how they might be leveraged to transform industries. The best way to be prepared to speak to these subjects: advocate for sensible approaches to the technology. Advocate for sensible approaches to the technology. You know what that sound like? Let me tell you what it sounds like to me. Let me tell you what it sounds like to me. If you're advocating for sensible approaches to the new technology, it sounds like the World Economic Forum, being as high as they are on the pyramid, they're speaking to people who are going to be dealing with governments in their separate jurisdictions. So when you go to the World Economic Forum, that is everybody from a bunch of different jurisdictions coming under one roof to game plan on what the world is going to look like. And then when they leave and they go back to their independent jurisdictions, meaning countries, they have to be able to advocate for sensible approaches to the new technology. So this would be people who are like the CEO for Coinbase, the CEO for Circle, the CEO for Ripple. When you see these different individuals having conversations in Congress, you can watch these individuals having conversations with the House Finance Committee and the Agricultural Committee on the benefits of these technologies. So you have to be able to advocate for sensible approaches to the new technology so that these technologies can flourish and not be stifled by laws and regulations that might cause them not to grow. Imagine like when the internet came out, if Congress was like, no, y'all can't do the internet. You wouldn't be ordering food off your phone. You wouldn't be ordering a car, a pickup, a Uber off your phone. If somebody in Congress, if there weren't people who knew how to advocate for sensible approaches to the new technology. And build products is to develop a first-hand understanding of cryptocurrency systems. We encourage you to open your computer and get hands-on with everything that has been covered. Hear and see for yourself the promises and indeed the limitations of this technology. Oh, I must say this one more time. We encourage you. We encourage you. We encourage you to open your computer and get hands-on with everything that has been covered here and see for yourself the promises and indeed the limitations of this technology. Man, I ain't trying to do too much. I'm just trying to nudge you. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to nudge you, that's all. That's all. I'm just trying to give you a little on the shoulder. So that, opportunities aren't missed. That's all it is. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, what I want to say is I appreciate you for tuning in to the Crypto Dojo Show, where we discuss everything, I mean everything that you should know about the world of crypto.